Alex Hale walked up the creaking steps of his new home, a small two-story house built back in 1968, with peeling paint, a crooked porch, and a tiny patch of grass in front. A typical old neighborhood in Montana, the kind where people spent their entire lives working at one factory, retired, and lived out their days quietly, without much fuss. The price had been suspiciously low, just $139,000, which, even for this area, sounded too good to be true. Why so cheap? Realtor Judy kept looking away and mumbling something about old wiring, a leak near the laundry room, and a broken leg on a kitchen chair. Alex only smirked. He had already heard from the neighbors that the house had a history. Unofficially, nobody lasted here more than a week. Lights flickered at night, and residents constantly felt someone's presence. Alex, a developer at a large SaaS company, didn't believe in the supernatural. But he did believe in low mortgage rates, a 4.3% fixed rate for 30 years, with a monthly payment of $980. After work, he set plastic takeout containers from the nearby Chinatown on the couch, sighed, and walked through the room, brushing his hand across the old wallpaper as if trying to feel the house's past. It grew slightly darker. The bulb above the table flickered, then flickered again, and again. Alex stood up and clicked the switch. Nothing. He turned around and froze. Between the old Zenith CRT TV and the couch stood a figure. A dark silhouette, as if sketched in the air. A hollow mouth open in a silent scream, one hand reaching forward. Alex exhaled. All right, so the old ladies didn't lie. You might want to step to the left, sir. The silhouette tilted its head slightly, as if surprised. Ignoring it, Alex walked to the table, took a few papers from a folder, and set them down. So, you're Mr. George Hillman, the one who died here about 5 years ago? He asked, settling onto the couch. Have a seat. I've got some news for you. The ghost slowly, almost reluctantly, sat down beside him. Alex lifted the first sheet. This is my paycheck. Full-time software engineer. Net salary, $3,920. See? The ghost leaned closer and nodded. Alex lifted the stapled stack of papers. And this is my mortgage disclosure. I owe the bank $132,000 for a house that costs less than a used truck. And that's $980 every month for the next 30 years. That, Mr. Hillman, is the real horror. So don't take it personally, but I'm not going to be scared of you. And I'm definitely not moving out. The ghost froze for a moment, and then sighed dramatically. And so began their strange, but peaceful coexistence. According to the neighbors, in life George Hillman had been a quiet old man who loved watching hockey and listening to local radio. Nobody knew exactly how he died, maybe his heart, maybe something else. But for some reason, he wasn't in a hurry to leave his home even after death. Alex, meanwhile, was the perfect roommate, didn't drink, didn't make noise, didn't bring crowds of guests. In the evenings, he gave the ghost improvised lectures on the American banking system, escrow, annual property taxes, homeowner insurance, foreclosure rules, ARM versus fixed, prepayment penalties. Hillman listened with his ghostly mouth slightly open. In time, he understood mortgages almost as well as a Wells Fargo employee. On weekends, Alex slept in, read books, scrolled Reddit, and methodically crossed off days on his calendar, one more month paid. His life was quiet and simple, until one day, Alex received an email. Your position has been terminated due to the company's financial instability. He walked home in a daze. His thoughts swirled, his heart pounded. The mortgage, the insurance, utilities. It felt like someone had tightened a belt around his chest. At home, he didn't even eat. He just collapsed onto the bed, feeling the anxiety squeezing his insides. "I'll get through it," he whispered, closing his eyes. And he fell asleep. He opened his eyes. Sunlight was coming through the window. Silence. Alex sat up slowly. His body felt different, sluggish. He walked into the kitchen and saw a stranger pouring himself coffee. "Hey, who are you?" Alex's voice shook. No reaction. He stepped forward, and in the living room he saw a woman flipping through a magazine, and on the floor a little girl coloring in a book. "What are you doing in my house?" Alex shouted. Nothing. Not a single glance in his direction. On the walls, different photographs, not his. On the shelves, different books. His things were gone. His clothes. His laptop. As if his life here had never existed. His heart thundered. He grabbed his phone and dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? The operator asked. There are strangers in my house. They live here. They can't hear me. Alex nearly screamed. Hello? Please speak up. How can I help you? Hello? I can't hear you, the dispatcher kept saying. Static crackled, then silence. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Alex gasped. No answer. As if he was speaking into emptiness. Panic surged through him. He ran around the house, trying to understand. The bank couldn't possibly have repossessed the house and sold it instantly. Impossible. Then what? Scammers? Why him? Why now? Why were they acting like he didn't exist? Hey you! Alex shouted. Trying to drive me insane by pretending I'm not here? Who are you working with? You bastards. I'm not giving him my house to some con artists. He was boiling with rage. He grabbed a vase from a table, a vase that wasn't his, and swung his arm, ready to smash it against the wall. But his hand passed through the vase like through a hologram, barely nudging it. A chilling shock shot through him. Electric. Paralyzing. On unsteady legs, he walked into the kitchen. The floorboards creaked under his steps, but weakly. Much weaker than usual. Understanding slowly, painfully began to form. He glanced at the fridge. A new calendar hung there, and the date was 2 months ahead of yesterday. In the corner appeared George Hillman's silhouette, watching Alex with a sorrowful, understanding look. A young couple, Nick and Hannah, bought the house on Alderwood Lane. They moved in on a bright Sunday morning. They explored the rooms, laughed at the old TV, marveled at the cracked paint. They had heard rumors about strange things, but they weren't superstitious, and the price was simply too good to pass up. $112,000. Practically a steal. All because the property history stated previous owner passed away in the bedroom from a heart attack.